You've tried something good and watched it fail. You tried again and it failed again, sometimes worse than before. Most people quit after 3 attempts. A few push to 10. Almost nobody keeps going past 20 without breaking inside. Today you'll hear the story of one quiet man who failed 47 times. What happened on attempt 48 changed everything for him. Wade Halloran, age 42, lived in a narrow rented house on the east side of Knoxville, Tennessee. He had a workshop in the garage and almost no money in the bank. For 16 years, Wade had worked on the auto parts factory floor across town. Then the plant closed, and the severance check disappeared into old bills within 4 months. He decided to make handmade furniture for a living. He loved wood, he loved working alone, and he believed the work would speak for itself. His alarm rang at 5:45 each morning. The same lukewarm coffee in the same chipped blue mug, and the same cold walk to the cold garage. Wade built a small writing desk and listed it online for $300. 2 weeks passed without a single message, and the desk sat under a tarp. He told himself the design was wrong. He built another one, simpler, cleaner, with hand-rubbed oil finish. Another month passed, and again nothing sold. Picture this. Wade stood in the garage at midnight, sawdust on his boots, staring at 4 finished pieces nobody wanted to buy. That was failure number 4. He didn't know it yet, but he was only beginning to count. Wade tried a craft fair in downtown Knoxville the following spring. He paid the booth fee with money meant for the electric bill that month. 12 people stopped at his table over 2 long days. Nobody bought a single thing, and a child spilled juice on his best cutting board. That was failure number 9. He drove home in his rusted Ford pickup truck, the bed still full, the silence inside the cab louder than the engine. His wife Greta met him at the door. She didn't ask about sales because she already knew the answer from his face. She made him a sandwich and sat with him at the kitchen table. The bills were stacked beside the salt shaker, and Wade couldn't meet her eyes. Here is what Wade didn't understand yet. Working harder on the wrong details was costing him the very years he needed to win. He tried Instagram next. He posted carefully shot photos of his pieces every morning for 3 straight months without missing a single day. His follower count climbed to 200 and stayed there. No orders came in, and the algorithm seemed to laugh at his quiet effort. That was failure number 16. Wade started counting them in a small black notebook he kept beside his bed at night. He tried local consignment shops. 3 stores took his pieces on display, and 3 stores returned them dusty 6 months later. Failures, 19, 20, and 21. He wrote each one in pencil, never ink, as if hoping to one day erase them. Wade tried wholesale. He drove 4 hours to Nashville to pitch a designer boutique that loved his samples but never returned his calls. Failure 25. The gas money for that trip was money he promised toward Greta's dental appointment. He came home and slept on the workshop floor that night. He didn't want her to see how thin his hope had become. This is the part most people never see clearly. The hardest workers often lose faith, not from one big blow, but from small ones stacking quietly. Wade tried teaching woodworking classes at the community centers. 2 students enrolled and 1 quit before the 2nd week. He tried selling tools and scrap wood online to keep cash moving. He tried partnering with a contractor who never paid him. He tried a new website, a new logo, new product photos, and a new email list. Failures 31 through 38 came in fast. One cold November evening, Wade sat alone in his parked truck outside the hardware store. He stared at the steering wheel for nearly an hour. He had $7 in his checking account. He had a workshop full of unsold work. He had a wife who hadn't laughed in months. For the first time, the word quit felt soft and reasonable in his mouth. He whispered it once, then sat in shame. If Wade's story sounds like yours right now, leave a single word in the comments below. Just say the word still. Tell me you're still standing, still trying, still refusing to count yourself out even when the world has already stopped counting you. Then keep listening, because what happened to Wade next is the part that changes everything for people like us. The next morning, Wade walked to the small diner 2 blocks from his house. He ordered black coffee because that was all he could afford. An older man named Otis sat in the next booth eating eggs and reading a folded newspaper. He was maybe 70, in a heavy gray cardigan. Otis had run a small hardware store in Knoxville for 41 years before retiring. Everyone in the neighborhood knew his name and his slow, deliberate way of speaking. He looked over and noticed the sawdust still clinging to Wade's sleeve. He nodded, the way old craftsmen recognize each other without words. "You build?" Otis asked. Wade nodded, then looked down at his coffee, ashamed to say more. "How long you been trying to sell?" Otis asked. Wade quietly said, 2.5 years, 40-some failures. Otis didn't flinch. He folded his newspaper and said something Wade would remember for the rest of his life. "Son, most people fail because they stop counting. You're still counting. That means you're still in the fight." Wade looked up slowly. Something inside his chest moved for the first time in months, like a door creaking open in a dark hallway. Otis leaned forward gently. "Failure isn't the enemy. Quitting between failures is. The 47th no is closer to yes than the first one." Then Otis said the line Wade wrote in his notebook that same night: "You don't lose until you leave. Stay in the room one more day." They talked for an hour over refilled coffee. Otis didn't lecture. He just shared 3 quiet rules he'd lived by for 41 years. Rule 1. Show up daily, even on the days when nothing in you wants to show up. Presence beats inspiration every single time. Rule 2. Change one small thing per attempt, not everything at once, just one variable, observed honestly, like a craftsman tunes a tool. Rule 3. Count your attempts out loud. Make failure visible so it loses its shame and becomes a record of your courage instead. Wade walked home holding those 3 rules like a man carrying water across a desert. The wind felt different on his face that afternoon. That night, he opened the small black notebook beside his bed. He wrote the 3 rules on the first clean page in firm dark ink. Day 1, he showed up at the workshop at 6. He changed one variable, the joint design, and built a single side table from scrap walnut. Day 3, he photographed the table beside a window with natural light. He posted it online with a different short caption focused on the story. Day 7, a woman in Memphis messaged him about the table. She wanted to know if he could build 2 for her dining room. That was sale 1. Failure number 48 had quietly turned into the first real yes Wade had heard in nearly 3 years. He didn't celebrate loudly. He simply wrote the number 1 in green pen at the back of his notebook, then went back to the shop. Day 14, a second message came in. A small inn in Knoxville wanted 4 matching nightstands built from local Tennessee hardwood. Day 30, Wade had 3 real orders. Greta noticed him humming in the workshop and stood quietly in the doorway watching him work. 2 months later, a regional magazine wrote a short article about handmade Tennessee furniture. Wade's small side table appeared in the 3rd photograph. Orders began arriving faster than he could fill them. Wade hired a teenage neighbor to help sand and finish on weekends after school. 6 months later, the rusted Ford pickup truck was paid off. Wade bought Greta the dental work she had quietly needed for over a year. 1 year later, Wade opened a small showroom in a converted warehouse on the east side of Knoxville. The sign above the door was hand-carved. The sign read, "Halloran Woodworks, Est, after 47 failures." People asked about that line every single day they walked through the door. Wade always told them the same thing Otis had told him: "You don't lose until you leave. Stay in the room one more day." 2 years later, Wade was teaching workshops to laid-off factory workers across East Tennessee. He never charged the ones who were broke. He kept the black notebook on the corner of his desk in the showroom. The 47 failures stayed written in pencil, unerased. Visitors sometimes asked why he kept them. Wade would smile gently and say, "Because every one of them paid for the yes that finally came." Here is the truth Wade learned that most people never hear clearly. The difference between winners and quitters is rarely talent or luck. It's the willingness to fail one more time than feels reasonable. To stay in the room when every voice tells you the door is the answer. Most dreams don't die from one giant defeat. They die from 40 small quitting decisions made on 40 quiet, ordinary, exhausted Tuesday nights. You will never know which attempt is the one that finally lands. The 48th might be it, or the 88th, or tomorrow morning's. But you will know one thing with absolute certainty: The attempt you never made cannot ever become the yes you were looking for. So tonight, before you sleep, find your own small black notebook. Any notebook will do. Write the number of times you've already tried. Don't hide it. Don't shrink it. Write it in plain ink and look at it honestly. That number is not your shame. It's your evidence. Tomorrow morning, before the day pulls you under, do attempt number next. Just one. Change one small variable, like Otis taught Wade. Then do it again the day after, and the day after that. Count out loud, stay in the room, and refuse to be the person who left. If this story moves something inside you, comment the number you're currently on. Your 10th try, your 30th, your 50th. Let us see you. Someone reading these comments tonight needs to know they aren't the only one still counting. Your number could be the courage they needed. Subscribe to Purpose Tales. If stories like Wade's give you the quiet strength to keep going, we post a new one every week for people like you. And remember this, even when the world stops watching, even when no one claps, even when the notebook is heavy with pencil marks, the 47th no is not your ending. It is the closest you have ever stood to the yes that will change your entire life. Never give up until you win. Because the moment you stay one day longer than the version of you who wanted to quit, you already have.